whakarongo ki te tangi a te korimako. Kōrero flowing out the hook of force. Kaupapa relevant, kaupapa out of bounds, kaupapa exigent, kaupapa paramount. Nā ko nā whakapiri mai ki te kaupapa tino whakahira hira whakarongo pi kari kari mai. Hare hare mai, o Taringa hare hare mai. We gotta gather up close everybody, gather up close everybody. Kani move that body, kani move that body.
Karanga, 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 karanga ra.
Karanga o te aroa.
Ooh, too much. Oi!
Pōneke.
Nau mai koutou hoki mai. Ki te punua pāho o Taringa. And you would have heard there's another voice in the room with Maoko Takutua Hene. Erika. Tēnei mihi ati nei ki a koe te hoa.
Tēnā koe.
Brother, Tiaki Terekia nau mai ki a Taringa.
Here we are, coming at you from the bustling metropolis of Te Awamatu.
Meow, meow.
Beep, beep, meow.
Did that sound like a helicopter?
That's some
Like your
horses.
keyboarding.
And yeah, good to have you here, Choc, as he's affectionately known around the place as well. Would you like to introduce yourself? Tell us about yourself.
Kei a koe, brother.
Ai, as already introduced, ko Tiaki Terekia tōku ingoa, ai, no te taira whitia hau, ko Ngāti Kōhuru te iwi, no Waihirere hau. Tēnā kōrua.
Waihirere.
Waihirere.
But this year, this year, Tiaki is performing for
Te rōpū o muri whenua.
Too Much. Ka nui te mihi ki te kapa o muri whenua, otira ki nā Kapahaka katoa. Surely that's a clue to everybody what our kaupapa kōrero was today, because we're in Te Matatini.
Yes, we're
Te
right
wiki o Te
amongst
Matatini.
it.
And this year's been branded as Te Matatini ki te
ao.
ao. And if you don't know what Te Matatini is, it is the National Kapahaka Festival competition for senior groups.
Biannual as well.
Biannual, and we have regional competitions through Te Ika Maui, the North Island, to Te Waipounamu, South Island, and Ahitereiria, Te Whenua Moemoeā. And we have regional competitions, and from those regionals, depending on how many groups you have performing, this affects your ratio of how many teams you send to compete at Te Matatini. You got to qualify at the regionals to perform at Te Matatini, and it is the Olympics of Kapahaka. And Kapahaka strive, a competitive Kapahaka anyway, strive to perform at Te Matatini and get into Te Matangi Rua, the top 9, which we'll talk about later, and to win the festival, the coveted Duncan Sterling Trophy.
Yeah, but there's also so many categories that you could place in as well.
Yep, so you have the Waiatatira choral item, whakaeke, which is the entrance, the traditional item, which follows the whakawātea, and then the poi, Taringa, action song, haka, and then whakawātea. So those are the sections that are judged.
And then
and
there's also the...
respective, and te reo Māori, which is the most important. And every respective item is judged by its own judges. So there's like 20-something judges that judge. So, it's quite a lot and it's an event that is planned for 2 years.
Yes, it's massive. A lot of work goes into it. And
the festival started back in 1972, the first one being at Rotorua, and the inaugural winners of that festival were Waihirere. And with us today we have one of the, well, he's still a part of the Waihirere whānau, but he's not performing with Waihirere this year. Hoi anō, taihoake e rā kōrero. Nō reira, koina Te Matatini in a nutshell, and you can hop on the internet and have a look and read up on sort of the history of Te Matatini.
Even better, you can attend.
Absolutely, go to Te Matatini, and it's going at the moment, so if you're in Pōneke, if you're listening to this and it's after the 25th, then sorry, you're too late, but you can watch some previous Matatini on YouTube. Just put it on there, type in Matatini and pick one of the groups. Nō reira, koe nei tā tātou kaupapa. And māua tahi ko Tiaki kei te haka, tēnei wiki. And this is episode, how tēnei episode?
81.
Waru te kaumātahi. Yes, and hei mohiotanga, kia mohia mai koutou, koina te kupu i ara kei roto i ngā tau, ko te Matatini nā te wharehuia mūroi te rā ingoa mo te kaupapa nei. Yeah, formerly Adam
Adam, yeah.
Adam Pass.
Adam Pass.
Aotearoa Māori Performing Arts. Adam Path Festival. And then there was Society. And then before them was the Polynesian Festival. Whiti Warawa Porinihia.
How long has it been named Te Matatini for?
2005?
Yeah, when I was down in Papaioia. Ooh, it was a long time. It was 13
went to that
years
one.
ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going back to the future again, or back to the past.
Yes. We're always
not.
time travelling on this.
Yeah.
Pūnua Pāoho.
Koina hoki.
Our kiwaha of today's episode is Kimi Kimi Noa, or Kimi Kimi Noiho.
Kimi Kimi Noiho.
What do you reckon that means, Tiaki?
Yeah, clutching at straws, grasping those straws. You know, we're reaching the end of our Matatini campaign, and some of our ropu out there haven't even finished their bracket, so we're clutching every hour, every weekend we have left to get that bracket complete.
Yeah.
Yes,
Or
such
I like
is-
to
such
think
is the
about
pressure.
it as guessing. Maybe you need to come up with something on the spot.
Yeah.
And you want to pretend that you know it.
Yeah.
So you just
You
just
sound like
guess.
an expert.
I'm really good at guessing.
Nah, we're all good at it, eh? We're all a bit of a Kimi Kimi Noiho sometimes. Yeah. So when someone is doing that, or that, you know, it seems to you that they really don't know the answer, or they're just sort of like taking a guess, that's when you say,
Oh, Kimi Kimi
yeah,
Noa.
he te Kimi Kimi Noiho koe. Or you could say the other way is he Kimi Kimi Noiho tērā. That's just a guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't really know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he Kimi Kimi Noiho.
So on that kaupapa, can either of you relate to a time during your lead up to Te Matatini where you may have been a bit Kimi Kimi Noa?
Especially with tutors, the frustration levels are building, the tension is there in the room to complete and get the team sorted for Matatini. Even when you get home, Brownie, you know, your domestic life is clutching at straws too.
Yeah.
You know, you spend all your weekends out doing hakas, but what about, you know, everything that's done at home?
Yeah, he te kakatua tērā. And while we're talking about Kimi Kimi Noiho, I'm reminded of a story from Uncle Bub when him and Auntie were still with Wairere, and they were on their way to practice, and they didn't have a waiata yet. And he was e te Kimi Kimi Noiho. He's like, oh, what are we gonna do? But on their way to practice, they made a song up in the car, and they taught it when they got to practice.
No, that is raw talent.
That
to be
was
able to
their
do
way
that.
of Taringa. Well, that still happens today. I think with a lot of teams, and you know, as Tiaki's talking about the pressures on pauako and composers, kaitito, and a lot of the time the pauako are the composers, is there's that pressure that's on the pauako, on the kaitito, on the composers to come up with the material. And you might have your noho schedule all planned out, your 12, 16, 20 noho, whatever, how many noho you had. You go, right, we're going to launch the poe on this date and the haka on this date. But you know what? Sometimes those items aren't ready to launch, so you've got to be flexible.
Yeah.
And if you've watched Dr. Dre on the Defiant Ones, and I think it's on episode 3 of that documentary, he talks about how auahatanga or creativity doesn't have any calendar or any deadlines, and it's something you can't switch on and switch off.
Yeah.
So yeah, and you know, you'd experience that, Tiaki, like when you're trying to come up with a rangi for something, and you might say, right, this is the rangi, and then 3 o'clock in the morning you wake up and another rangi comes to you, and you've got to make that decision. Actually, this rangi's better. I'm going to change it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and those kapahakas and say black and white.
Yeah, and it's also, because there's such a large group, I guess it'll be a lot of collaboration. So things will transform as they're going as well.
Definitely. Yeah, I think in every kapahaka sort of has their own way and style of operating. Nera, you mean?
One of the advantages to the last minute of the mahi we do is you're not peaking. It's not stale.
Yeah.
And, you know, a lot of teams work better under that pressure.
Yeah.
So there's the advantage too.
Yeah.
Aroha mai whānau,
He's got the haka voice.
Korokoro ke te pakaru.
Yeah.
Korokoro noiho.
Okay, so I've got a question for you both. What's your favourite part about noho?
Jackie's going to say the kai.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. You're going up for noho up at Miru Whenua, and I see those food posts, all that kaimoana. Oh, yum.
Yeah, man, must be like the mean pateros going on the floor. Far out.
Oh, yeah, when you're travelling in a van load of, kaihaka, travelling all the way for 7 hours and, patero away. And it's the evidence of the kaimoana, the bountiful they have up there, up in the whānau, te taitokero.
Koina, and while we're on kai, those are the unsung, well, maybe not by the kapahaka, but by the audiences or the myriads that really don't know what go on behind the scenes, that a kapahaka need really good cooks.
Yeah.
Well, they need cooks. Kai plays a huge part in the campaign of a kapahaka. If the kai's good, everybody's happy. And it keeps the engines running through the noho. Some nights you're not finishing till midnight or after.
But you need those people there to make sure you stop and eat.
Yeah, and the other thing too, though, is that usually the cooks, say, are your aunties, your uncles, or whoever, the whānau connected to the kapahaka, and they have their opinions too about what's going on in the bracket.
Okay.
So you can sort of get a bit of a, not a sort of a view from the cooks. They see things that the kaiako aren't necessarily looking at.
Yeah, I guess that'd be your first audience.
Yep. Yeah, and they even like our ones, they pick their team.
Oh, no.
Yeah, they don't tell me because I'm like, I don't want to know who's on their list, but they have their list, when it comes to selections.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you are able to have a selection.
I'm guessing selection time will be a really hard process. I'd hate to be in that position myself to tell someone they didn't make the rōpū. Yeah, can you both talk about any situations that you've had in the past to do with the selection process? I mean, have you ever come up against another guitarist and there was a battle of you and that person?
Yeah, like on Crossroads.
Yeah, there's always going to, you can only be 40 performers on stage and one or many is going to miss out. I remember years ago back in Waihire, it was either myself or Mr. George Rea. So, but, that was cool. There's a lot of learning experience with missing out from the team. There's plenty of mahi to do off the stage as well. You can get in there and support the other kaihaka to, might be in the kitchen, might be prepping kākahu. There's a lot of other jobs. They call them reserves. They can help out with to support the team as one. It's not about the individuals. It's that whole te kōtaitanga of the team.
And that's important, that everybody is conscious of that from the beginning of the campaign, is that while you may not make it on the stage this time, you're still a part of the kapa. Maybe not the performing kapa that's going to take the stage, but everybody is part and parcel in the development of that group as a whole to get there and to have that whātekau on stage. And and I'm thinking about one of my nieces in the group. She made the team last regionals and she's on stage for Matatini. And if she's listening, she'll know that I'm talking about her. And we didn't put her on for, I think she tried for 4 of our campaigns previously.
Oh, wow.
And she just kept coming back.
Yeah.
So, hats off to those ones that stick at it.
Yeah, and that is commitment.
Yeah, and again, another story from Uncle Bub when he went down to Waihirere. And, he wasn't a haka person initially.
Really?
Nah. Even though it was in his lineage, like his tūpuna and that were renowned haka people from Tūhoe and Te Whakatohea, he wasn't really into kapahaka. It was through his wife, through Pēmea, through Auntie Nen, that he got into kapahaka and Wairere. And then when he tried for Wairere, it wasn't even a factor that he was tried, like Auntie Nen's uncles tested him out, made him clean the toilets while they were practicing. And things like that, to test him out to see if he was in there for the long haul. Yeah. So those are some of the values too in kapahaka. In the kapa is the loyalty you have to a group. Auntie Nen always used to talk about commitment. Well, you have the passion, you got to make the sacrifices, the commitment to a group. So koira mea katoa.
What is your most memorable moment you've ever had on the Matatini stage?
I don't know if... Well, I've only stood in a few matatini, like Tiaki's done way more than me, and there's heaps of people, you know. Our group, Mōtai, is a young team. Previously, I've performed with Tuhaurangi and Ngāpu Manawa, both Te Arawa teams, and Ngāpu Manawa is defunct now. But if I was to look at Kapahaka in general, and at some of the highlights, would be some of the people that I've come into contact through the years and the learnings you take. So that's the other thing. What you see on stage for any Kapahaka is only a small percentage of all the work and time and commitment that's gone in to get it ready to be there.
Yeah.
You don't see everything. And also, I've been a judge, and that's why I think it's important that the kaiwhakawā at Te Matatini or any Kapahaka competition have had the experience of being a kaihaka, because then they fully appreciate the work that goes into to having a bracket up to standard. You're only judging that 10%.
Yeah, it's
You're
like
not
the
judging,
iceberg, eh?
Yeah.
You only see what's above the water.
90% of the work is done before there's 10%, and there might not even be 10%, might only be 5% of the whole campaign you see on the stage.
Yeah.
So, there's lots. I don't think I can pick out one, but there's all sorts of highlights.
Tell us a highlight.
One would be when I was at high school, and the late Irirangi Tiaki Awa came in to watch us do our bracket.
Yeah.
And if you knew, Iri was a big smoker, like cigarettes.
Yeah.
And he sat there the whole time, didn't say anything, didn't show any emotion on his face, smoked the whole time we done our bracket. We done the whole thing, whakaeke te whakawātea. Putted out a smoke, lit another one, told us that the bracket was maroku.
Oh my gosh.
And I feel for our pawako, but they gave him the thing because Irirangi was, Atua I roto I te rao. And he changed the whole thing in one, and he made up like new actions to our whakaeke on the spot.
Yeah.
For both men and women.
Yeah.
So he changed all of that.
Oh my gosh.
To the only thing he probably didn't touch was the mōtetea, but I got a dong from him. I got a whack because I see something wrong. So that was a highlight, because you can't, whack people anymore. We got whacked for the witty. We used to get whacked for the witty.
Yeah.
And those are highlights. I think those are highlights. You don't do that anymore. You can't hit people. But I think I caught the last of that.
The last of that whacking generation.
Yeah, you got a whack on the fingers, and then you never done the witty wrong again. After then,
well, it was one way to get it through.
But you know what? You learnt the witty, and you wouldn't do it wrong again. So those are some of the highlights for me.
Yeah, I would not expect that as a highlight.
Gather up close, everybody.
What about you, Tiaki?
Yeah, well, like Brown was saying, that 30, however many minutes on stage feels like 20 seconds. So it's hard to capture that moment on stage. It's all about the journey from the first noho all the way to the stage. But one highlight for me was 2002. The festival was held at Takaparawa in Tāmakio, and we were practicing in a gymnasium, and we hadn't even reached the stage, and the stereo was on, and Te Wakahuia were on, and hearing them over that loud stereo was like, oh my gosh, how are we going to compete with that? We could hear there was an awesome bracket they had, but they pretty much had taken out the preliminary round, and so when it come to the finals that Sunday, Te Wakahuia had the crowd in their hands. The crowd were cheering. You've seen the videos. They had it there, and we knew we had a bit of a sniff to take them on. And fortunately, we won. And what was funny was I think there was only one person that stood in the crowd that clapped when it was announced, and that was someone from home. So that was a bit of a highlight.
Oh, cool.
It's fun, and talking about that year, so my mum would watch, and my mama, kua mate taku mama, but she would watch from home.
Yeah.
And then when we get home, she would have written her well, back then it was the top 6. So she would write them out before the announcements. Yeah. And the funny thing is, man, my mum, she would usually be bang on with the groups, and then she'd watch the thing, and then she'd pick her first, second, third.
Yeah.
And Karewi Te Rukahu My mum named the first, second, third that year.
Oh,
we got back.
nice.
And Wahiri was
Nice.
their pick. Yeah. She got them all in order.
That reminds me of my good friend Rachel McGarvey. Shout out to Rachel McGarvey. But I know there's a lot of people out there who do their own judging. But oh man, my friend, she is just so handy. She'll watch every single performance. She'll be there at the gates at 5 a.m. and make sure she gets a nice spot at the front of stage in the middle, and she'll sit there and watch every single performance without a break and take notes. And she'll have notes on every single rōpū. Now, I can fully imagine her being a judge one day, and you've been a judge before, and it looks so tiring to be a judge. What a hard job.
You gotta love it. That's my, to anybody, if anyone's listening out there, e pirangi ana ki te whakawā kapahaka, you do it because you love it. You know? And you gotta have a passion to judge kapahaka. Yeah. Yeah. I don't actually get tired when I do it because that's how much I enjoy it, and it's an honour for me to do that. Yeah. Yeah. But everybody's different. And I've had people ask, how do you... It's a sort of a hard sort of thing to break into, circle, te kai whakawā.
You know, knowing me, I have my... I don't know. I think I'd find it hard to not be biased.
There's some parallels with in terms of the pauako, the kaitito, and the kai whakawā, in that when you're a pauako, kaitito, teaching composing has a lot to do with what you feel and what you think. Yeah. And it's finding the balance of getting that. And the composition and the bracket as a whole is what you think, say the technical things, and what you're feeling. And it's the same when you judge, or when you're on that judging panel, is part of it's technical, and the other part is wairua, what you feel from the groups. So you can get a group up, and we've seen them through the years, like when Te Matatini made their debut back in 96. They were just so different to everybody else, and they just had something. Yeah. But if you watch their first stand, 1996, heaps of mistakes, you know, people out of time, but they just had this wairua. And yeah, they got in the top 6. So yeah, sometimes it's not, a lot of the time, it's not because everything's, you know, perfect, crisp and polished. And yeah, those are one-off things, yeah. Yeah. Pe o whakaaro Tiaki.
No, sorry, aroha mai, I was thinking about something else.
Think away, kōrero away.
First of all, just couldn't help but notice your yellow t-shirt on. I'm not sure if that's a Napanui or whanara t-shirt. But I was just thinking about the pressure it is to stay in the top 9. So I guess for Muri Whenua, one of the goals is, you know, to make the top 9 for the first time as a rōpū, or be the first Tai Tokerau team to make the top 9. And speaking to a colleague that's in Te Kahuringa, you know, giving a bit of elbow, I said, you know, there's pressure there to stay in that top 9 if you've already been there. Yep. The only way is down, or that's to stay as, you know, in the finals. So there's a lot of pressure there. But speaking from the point of view of being in Muri Whenua, there's more passion and drive to go for that top 9 as well, and try and make that cut. Yeah,
it's one thing to get up there, but it's another thing to stay up there.
Aye.
Yeah.
Hey.
Aye.
And on the other side, and I know I'm going to keep referring to him because he is the Don of Kapahaka, Uncle Bub, one of the things he said to me, he said, boy, the things with the teams that haven't, you know, made the matangi rua. Yeah. And the matangi rua, koenei te kupu mo te top 9. So in Te Matatini, we've got 3 sections. Te ihu, which is the power of the waka, te haumi, which is the middle part of the waka, and te kei, which is the back of the waka.
So what's a matangi rua?
Matangi rua, for the Sunday, for the top 9, matangi rua is when the waka puts its sail up. Oh. And they're paddling hard out.
What a beautiful metaphor.
Yeah, paddling, and you've got your sail up at the same time, so you were going hundi. Yeah. Yeah, so that's why, yeah, and I coined that for, well, I didn't coin that, but I thought that was a suitable kupu for the top 9. Yeah. Te matangi rau. He said, well, boy, those groups that haven't got up there, they actually got nothing to lose. And those are the groups you got to keep an eye on, he used to say.
They could just come up like those underdogs.
Yeah, and actually just, yeah, so...
Yeah, I guess, yeah, you're right, because once a team has made the top 9 before, you have expectations for them.
Absolutely, and the pressure, and Taki would, he'd be the best one to talk about that, but we as an audience, because it doesn't matter if you're a pauako, tiati, judge, or anybody, you're still an audience.
Yeah.
And we have expectations, and it's not fair that it's natural, I think, that we think that these big kapahaka should live up to these expectations.
Yeah.
And when they don't, in our minds, we're like, oh, it's not really fair on all the work that those kapahaka have put in.
Yeah, hard out.
Hey.
And it is such a huge commitment. I mean, I can only talk from doing it at high school, and that was enough for me. But I mean, I see all of you out there and my partner going there every weekend, going to noho. You put in you spend a lot on petrol for some groups, especially you travelling 7 hours up to Te Tai Tokerau, there and back in a weekend.
Right.
And then, there's all the money that goes into the kai, into your travel uniforms, into the actual performing gear as well.
That's the 95% I was talking about. That's not judged. So only the 5% that's judged. And while you're talking about driving, and I was just kei au te tahi whakaaro taki, what was it like? So now, ko kōrua ko tō hoa wahine, kei roto e te kapa kotahi, both in the same group. What was it like being in 2 different groups? Because there's a lot of couples out there that are like that, one's in one team. We got a couple in our kapa, where their partners in another group. What's that like what's it like at home, bro?
Yeah. Was there a bit of rivalry?
Yeah, there was a bit of rivalry at home. It was quite draining, actually, because, you're on 2 different kaupapa. There wasn't much to share, more or less sharing each other's griefs.
Some silent moments?
Yeah, some silent moments, on the couch moments. But now that we're in the one rōpū and we're able to take our tamariki with us, it just makes life a bit easier.
Yeah,
especially when you get home. It's just a bit more simple for us to do things. But yeah.
And nā tamariki, wai on tamariki that come to Norway, they just pick it up like that, eh?
You see your nieces and nephews there in other rōpū, hey, give a listen to your Taringa. The kids, they're so innocent and they catch tunes so quickly that they'll just leak your tune out here, there and everywhere, and that's awesome.
Yeah, while we're on, leaking tunes, you can't help it with tamariki. Yeah, well, like the kura here in Taumutu, you got a few kapa parents that own a few kapa, and I know the kids go to kura singing each other's brackets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or you might get one that goes to 2 different kapa.
Oh,
and goes to the other one, and they're doing the other one's poi, or you just go, show us your poi. According to this is quoted from other people. I don't do that. But and I want to talk about too how, because I'm big on, it's not all about the stage, the matatini stage, and the competitive stage is, we can't sing about te reo and ngā tikanga and kōrero tuku iho, and then we don't embody what we're singing.
Yeah. Hard out.
Don't just pay lip service to it. And that's why I'm big on te reo Māori. Don't be a Māori just for 30 minutes or 25 minutes if you haven't got away at the tira. Me Māori te tū i ngā wā katoa. And if you look at the first stage, and still is, of Māori da Mārau Marae. And even and that's where the judging starts, actually. And it's in a lot of our kōrero tuku iho. You've got tamate kapua and whakatūria, and who else? There's lots of stories, if you find them i roto i ngā iwi, that if you couldn't do the haka or your waiata, kare pai tō waiata, then kare o mana. So all of that's riding on you as well as a kapahaka that represents your people and yourselves. And and that, that started on the marae. We say, he marae harai te whakataitai, but really it doesn't whakataitai.
Yeah.
Everyone's listening to your whai kōrero, your mōtete, your karanga. Koe nā te atamira tuatahi ko te marae. Koe nā te papahaka tuatahi. And talking about our kids, I think it's important for us as pakeke to make sure there's a balance there. that our rangatahi don't forget, and because we're meant to exemplify to our rangatahi how we should live. So don't put everything, kōku whakaaro ēnei, don't put everything on whakataetai, anoi ho, engari, me aroho ki tātou ki o tātou marae. And Kapahaka is a great vehicle and a doorway for a lot of people to get interested in te reo Māori.
Yeah, definitely.
And tika ngā me rā mea.
Being a in-law, outlaw / mercenary to muri whenua, although my tamariki whakapapa there, and one way or another we can whakapapa to muri whenua, it's really interesting to hear the history, everything about Te Huku o Te Ika, the first noho, the Ropu, travelled to all these landmarks. It's all about the 5 iwi that encompass of under muri whenua, and learning everything about, it's just that excitement, haka singing about all these tūpuna from there, all these rangatira, and to be a part of that journey and help them push their message, push their stories on this big stage is an exciting thing. Just as exciting as the kaimoana.
Yeah. And that for me is a highlight. That would be one of my highlights.
Yeah.
Yeah, of any group, not just Motai, but any group that I've been involved with is learning these things.
Yeah. Okay, what is both of your favourite item to perform? Category.
Pai tēnā pātai. Tiaki?
Mine was always with Waihirere, it was always the whakaeke because of the music, the big sounds, just the dramatic style that Waihirere has with their whakaeke over the past.
Yeah, they are quite theatric.
Yeah, that was always my favourite item, was the whakaeke.
Yeah, I think to watch as opposed to performing. So I'm a more te person.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I enjoy watching the whakaeke too.
Yeah.
And from a judging perspective, and nōku e nei whakaaro, I think that if you're a new judge to any competition, and the new judges usually get chucked the whakaeke or the whakawātea, I think they should be given the wai a Taringa or the poi or the haka, or even the more tetea.
Why is that?
Because you're only focusing on one discipline.
Oh,
whereas,
right. Yes, where the others are kind of a mash-up
absolutely.
of everything.
And if you look at whakaeke over the years, you'll see the evolution of whakaeke. And now everything's going on in a whakaeke.
Yeah.
Whereas previously it wouldn't be as dramatic, or there wouldn't be as many dynamics going on in a whakaeke as there are today.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's challenging to judge, say, a style of whakaeke like Waihirere against a style of whakaeke of, say, Mātarai. Yeah. So, you need to really have your wits about you when you're so I share that. And as a writer, I enjoy just writing as kaitito.
Yeah.
But to watch is whakaeke.
Yeah.
But to perform is the more tetea. Yeah.
I've heard people say you can judge a whole bracket on its more tetea.
Yeah. Definitely for me, all the items are important, but I think the whakaeke and the more tetea, because the whakaeke is your first.
Yeah, statement.
Other than the choral,
Yeah.
And I've seen how a whakaeke can influence the thoughts of everybody, and I'm not picking out anybody, but you can have a mean as whakaeke, and everything after that, I was like, whoa, they had a mean whakaeke.
Yeah.
But in saying that, I've got an appreciation for every single item that makes up a bracket.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about some Kapahaka bloopers, bro? Through the years, any
Do you have any
memories
bloopers?
of yourself, not of anybody else? I'll start. It's not a big one, but when I was little, at primary, my pipi couldn't fit me properly. Or the pipi that I had on the night.
Too big.
Yeah, it was too big. I had this big ass gap behind me. Didn't even meet up. Not like a little one. I mean, like this big ass gap. It was probably my whole bum was showing. Yeah. Lucky got the black undies on, so that's one of my many memories.
I remember one performance, I'm sure he won't mind me saying this, but the late Te Rerewa, Auntie Tangwai was standing in front of him, and I think she stood on a tack. And so during the whole eke, he was trying to pull the tech out so watching this all unfold, and obviously she got it out, but it was one of those bloopers you couldn't help but watch. And,
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. It was quite a hard case.
Oh, that was on stage.
On stage?
Yeah.
Oh, God. What about playing the guitar? Have you ever had a string break or
Heaps of times, Tiaki?
on stage? Play the wrong song?
Played the wrong notes, probably.
Yeah.
You get the odd look from the auntie turning around, hey.
Yeah.
But, you just keep running with it.
Yeah, one year the cuzzy, he switched guitars and the guitar wasn't tuned properly.
Oh, no.
And he went to, I think it was either Poi or Taringa, one or the other. And he went to play it and it was wrong. And he started, taua, taua, taua. And he done a bit of a tune-up. And I was like standing, what? But he got it done.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was all good. So, yeah, koe nei e tahi āhuatanga. These are things that happen. I call that the whoops factor. You can't. There's no two ways around it.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so I recently heard that somebody out there was putting out a tono to get Kapahaka to the Olympics.
To perform?
No, as a sport.
Nā, karewe whakai ki tērā. Hau nei. I think that Te Matatini is the Olympics of Kapahaka.
Yeah.
And kei aia tōna mana. So waihui ko nei. I wouldn't be into... Yeah, I think that's ours. And, pai te whakaro, I think ko tērā whakaro he whakamana i nama i Kapahaka. But Te Matatini is the Olympics of Kapahaka.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, karewe whakai ki tērā kōrero. Might have been just a bit of a, I don't know, generating some discussion
Bit
around
of a laugh.
Grasping at pee-pee.
Yeah. I'll tell you what though, one year I judged that our cousins over in Hawaii, they have a Kapahaka festival over there called Te Manahua.
Oh, really?
It's a biannual event. And one year I went over as myself, Vicky, Donna, Ross, and Vicky Wehi. And we went over there to judge. And Machitahi was the other one. And we had, there was a group, Ngāti Rānana came from London and competed.
Oh, cool.
And some of the groups over there, they pulled 3 or 4 Kapahaka together to perform. And it was an awesome event. So, yeah, there's like potential for, because there are Māori staying, we're global people. There's potential for that. And it's something that's come across, the table at Te Matatini, we've discussed it. There hasn't been anything formal, but talked about, because we have the cousins coming from Australia.
Yeah.
And I remember the first year that they performed Te Herenga Waka, there's only one team back then, and it was such a buzz to have a team from Tiaki Terekia coming, Te Whenua Moemoea, to perform at Te Matatini, or the Polynesian festival back then.
Yeah.
It was such a buzz. And now it's been normalised. Now we've got three teams coming from Tiaki Terekia. So that just shows the length and breadth of our culture and how Kapahaka is used to keep people in touch with their whakapapa.
Yeah, but
even, identity.
I don't know if it will be harder or easier, but it'll be different again for them because they live overseas and the rōpū is not made up of people from mostly one iwi. So it would be an amalgamation of, I think, histories and experiences of all sorts of different iwi pertaining to the people in their group.
Even perhaps Ki ora, he could be considered for the Olympics.
Yeah, I'd put things like Ki ora up first and even Maurako.
Oh yeah, Maurako, yeah.
Woohoo! While we're talking about Maurako, again, Kapahaka has had a big part of the revival of Maurako as well, or the interest, I should say, of Maurako and also in other art forms of tātou te iwi Māori.
Yeah.
I think ka nui a tātou kōrero. You got any closing remarks, Tiaki?
Oh, I remember back in Waihirere, one thing Uncle George used to always tell us was, if you can beat Te Waka Huia, you're almost there. Engari, ki ngā kapa o te motu, kia kuriraki, kia koutou katoa, me pai tō haerenga ki te whanganui atara. See you on stage, break a leg. Oh, areho mai. No, it would be awesome, but just also a shout out to my whānau back at home at Waihirere, back at Parihi, Manihi, Marae. And to Te Rōpū o Muri Whenua, kia kaha koutou. Kia koe, Mr. Gloin, Kiriraki ki a koe me te rōpū o mōtai.
Tēnā rā watu koe, Tiaki e mihi atu ana ki a koe. Kua rangatira a Taringa i tō noho mai.
Ai.
I tēnei rā, he rangatira nā kōrero, he ngahau, engari he rangatira. So e ka mihi māua ki a koe, e tautoko ana i o mihi ki nā kapahaka katoa te motu. Me ngā kai tautoko, the sewers, the cooks, all of those people, the behind the scenes one that make a kapahaka. You know who you are, who we're talking to, and those of you that, this, hopefully we provided a little window into the world of competitive kapahaka and the world of kapahaka. I roto i tēnei wā, nei. O reira, ka mihi rā.
Right, and I understand that when the day that this episode drops is the day that Tiaki is also on stage.
Aye, so keep an eye out whānau online, Māori TV. And we got your whānau in our pool too.
Oh, really?
Aye.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah, and we've got your whānau in our pool too.
Which one's in yours and which one's in yours?
And,
so you've
and
got
Tauira and ours.
Oh, exciting.
Yeah. Hoi anō, e mihi ana ki a koutou, and kei whea he waiata i tūātu i tēnei. Ko te waiata tēnei e whakatairanga ana i te matatini ki te ao, nā te kāhui kai waiata rongo nui o te wā me tahi o nā kaihaka o nā kapahaka, tēnā whakarongo mai.
E hau nei tō reo pōhiri ki ngā iwi puta noa i ngā motu e toru.
O te iko, o te waka, o te papa o ne kura, kia hui hui ai tātou katoa.
I te hiku vai o te tau, ki te hapa i ngā taonga, i waihone e rātou mā. Hei whakai atu, manga uri whakatipu, no tua iho, taku mana, o aku ti pura. Te matatini ki te ao, te matatini ki te ao, te matatini ki te ao, te matatini ki te ao. Ahine te rehia.
Naru e ana te papa, haruru ana te titi hawa, a te tini o te tangata.
Te matatini ki te ao, te matatini ki te ao, te matatini ki te ao, te matatini ki te ao. Te matatini ki te ao.
Te Matatini ki te ao.
Man, it's amazing that they managed to pull all those talented singers from Te Ao Māori in and record that piece.
Yeah, it's cool. It's timely because a lot of those kaiwaiata on there, like...
They're real current.
Yeah. And yeah.
They're real
some of them
modern.
are current and some of them not so current, but they're faces of, you know, I think there's a good representation. So,
Yeah, hard out.
ka mihi ki a rātou. Ka mihi hoki au ki te kaitito nā kupu, kia Hemi Kelly, te uri o Ngāti Maniapoto, Ngāti Unu, Ngāti Ngā Wairo, no reira ka mihi kia koe e tai e hoa, I au nā kupu, and I'm not sure actually who put the rangi to it. And while I'm giving that acknowledgement, that's something we didn't talk about with Tiaki is when you have to submit your scripts to Te Matatini.
Yeah.
And you have to sign off every item. You've got to say who composed it, provide explanations for the item, and that's another big job too, is getting those scripts together.
Gosh.
So koina tētai o nā huatanga I au e whakaaro ana ki te kaitito o te waiata nei. Yeah. That was a cool kōrero, eh?
Yeah, hard out. So awesome to have Choc here in studio. I mean, we see him around the office and we finally managed to rope him in here.
Yeah, I think it was a bit mai, a little bit nervous about coming in and speaking on Taringa, but yeah, I te wā I rere te kōrero. There was kare e te kimi. He wasn't guessing or anything. He just rere Māori ngā kōrero. So, ka mihi tonu ki aia. And I know there will be a lot of Kapahaka people that would have been listening, and even those that are performing or not would have memories of their time in Kapahaka and some of their experiences. So, yeah, I enjoyed that one. I enjoy all of them. But
yeah, me too. I enjoyed that.
Nō reira e hoama, ko tātou tērā.
Yep, that's us.
And thank you again for joining us on Taringa, te punua pāho, a te wānanga o te aroa, e whakapāho atu nei I te ipurau, ki konei ki te taone nunui rawa atu, anei a te ao mitu. And ko māua ko Erika tēnei, e mihi atu nei, tuahine, māu te kupu whakamitinga.
Okay, putting me on the spot, got me a little bit kimi noa here. But anyway, I better give a shout out to you, because you are also performing at Te Matatini. By the time this is out, would you have already performed?
No.
Oh, okay. So, kuru raki. I wish you all the best. Make sure that you give it your all. And Paroni was telling me before that he's not nervous at the moment, and he doesn't know if he's excited yet. But I'm hoping that by the time this is out, you're ready.
Tēnā rawa atu koe. Kia ora tuahine, e mihi mai nei. E te iwi, hei kona maira.
Hei kona.
Bit whakaronga pi kari, gather up close everybody, buddy. Taringa. Yeah, tahuri mai ki o, whakarongo ki te tangi a te kori mako. Kōrero flowing out the hooker force, kaupapa relevant, kaupapa out of bounds, kaupapa exigent, kaupapa paramount. Nā kona whakapiri mai ki te, kaupapa tino whakahira, whakarongo pi kari mai, hare mai, o Taringa, hare mai, we gotta gather up close everybody, gather up close everybody. Kani move that body, kani move that body.
Taringa, he mea tuku nā te wānanga o Aotearoa. To listen to more episodes, search for us on your podcast app and subscribe. Taringa, whakarongo mai.